You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show podcast on KPEL965.com.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL, Breaux Bridge, Lafayette, broadcasting from the Matthew James Tax Pros studios. Find them online at MatthewJamesTaxPros.com.
The polls are open just about everywhere. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, in 46 states now.
I certainly hope you vote for Donald J. Trump today. I think that his policies are going to promote peace and prosperity for our citizens.
Trump running mate J.D. Vance after casting his vote in Ohio a short time ago.
If you vote the wrong way, in my view, I'm still going to love you. I'm still going to treat you as a fellow citizen. And if I am lucky enough to be your vice president, I'm going to fight hard for your dreams and for your family.
The former president will vote later in Florida after the final Trump rally after midnight in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Vice President Harris held her last rally late last night in Philadelphia.
Our campaign has tapped into the ambitions and the aspirations and the dreams of the American people. We are optimistic.
She already voted early, like more than 82 million Americans. But for those who waited,
there were huge lines, about 150 to 200 people in line waiting for the doors to open at 7 a.m.
That's Fox's Brian Yennis in Bucks County, Pennsylvania.
This is a 50-50 kind of a county. It's a suburb of Philadelphia, but Republicans are starting to feel good here because they outnumber registered Democrats for the first time, and that's a big deal. But it all comes down to turnout.
Pennsylvania is one of the battleground toss-up states key to who is elected president, and so is Wisconsin, where there's also a close Senate race. Republican Eric Hovde tells Fox,
I'm feeling great. The energy and the momentum is clearly on our side. It's time for change.
He is trying to unseat Democrat Tammy Baldwin, one of several Senate seats the GOP hopes to flip to take control of the Senate in the next Congress, while in the House, Democrats hope to flip 6 seats at least to win the majority there. Fox News Radio will have special live coverage of the results tonight starting at 6 p.m. Eastern. Check for updates on that on this station or at foxnewsradio.com. More death and destruction in Gaza. An Israeli airstrike hit a house. Palestinian officials say children among the at least 20 people killed. Israel says it was targeting Hamas weapon storage and took steps to mitigate the risk to civilians. America's listening to Fox News.
Today is Election Day in America, and Fox News Radio has wall-to-wall coverage. Starting tonight with a 1-hour preview show with Brett Baer, Martha McCallum, and Dana Perino. Then Jared Halpern and Jessica Rosenthal lead Democracy 24 state-by-state coverage of the all-important presidential election and balance of power in Congress. Along with Fox News reporters throughout the country. It's coverage you can't hear anywhere else. Listen starting at 6 p.m. Eastern at foxnewsradio.com and on the Fox News app.
It is time to take the quiz.
5 days a week, it's 5 questions in less than 5 minutes. We ask people on the streets of New York City to play along. Let's see how you do.
Including the pre-Super Bowl era, what NFL franchise has won the most NFL championships?
I'm going to say the Cowboys.
I guess I would say the Packers.
How'd you do? Exactly. These get tougher, so hang on.
Make sure you take the quiz every weekday at thequiz.fox. Thank you for taking.
Today is the day. It's Election Day across the United States, and you can join us here on News Talk 96.5 KPEL all day for the best coverage. Of course, you'll hear from Moon Griffon, Dan Bongino, Sean Hannity throughout the day, and then starting at 4 o'clock, our local coverage begins with the Josh Guillory Show, followed by the Joe Cunningham Show. Then at 6 o'clock, it's our election night coverage brought to you by the Matthew James Tax and Wealth Management Group. The most comprehensive Election Day coverage in South Louisiana is right here on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Louisiana. This message presented by the LHSAA and the Louisiana High School Athletic Directors Association.
Bikers Against Child Abuse empowers children to not feel afraid of the world in which they live. For more information, visit BACAworld.org. Our helpline is 866-885-9474. BACA, breaking the chains of abuse.
This hour of the Moon Griffon Show is brought to you by Champines, located in the Oil Center. Champines, going the extra mile.
The views expressed in the following show are those of the hosts or hosts only. They do not represent News Talk 96.5 KPEL or Town Square Media.
Hi, y'all all. Welcome, Moon Griffon Show. Anything going on today, folks, I need to know about? Election Day. Something about Election Day brings out pride in a lot of people. And, if everything's up front, everything's honest, it's a great day. It's always a great day. It's the climax of something that Americans have been doing for a long, long time. If everything's up front and honest, it's nothing like it. It's just nothing like it. Matter of fact, I got to vote early today with my whole family. We went early, and it was all good. It was just good to go and vote. It's good to know that I've contributed my little bit, my little 2 cents or 1 cent or whatever you call it. And anyway, it's just one of those days. It's a feel-good day. Now, a lot of people are nervous, and they got a lot of people that are upset, and a lot of people that are scared to death. And I get all that. And fear is a great motivator, and we'll see what happens. I'm not giddy watching this stuff, so my temperament will stay about the same the whole day during Election Day. Day goes on, go around my routine, eat supper, visit with the family. Hogan's Heroes come on about 9 o'clock. I'll check that out before I go to bed, and I'm going to bed. I cannot contribute anything else to this election. People that love watching it like it's a football game, man, this is your time of year, enjoy it. I can't believe you did it for a living. You didn't watch that. What am I watching? You can't get anything official, before the election's over. You can't get anything official before polls start closing. I mean, you just can't. So my question to you guys that may think, boy, I tell you what, for a guy that does that, I pay attention to a lot of stuff. I don't have to watch people in the media. But I'm not telling you not to do it. I never suggested you don't watch it. I never suggested that at all. And I'm not going to suggest that. Enjoy it. Some people love this stuff. And it's not who I am. I'm who I am. That's not who I am. But do I follow it? Absolutely. Do I watch it? Absolutely. But I don't watch the stuff tonight. And I haven't really watched anything leading up to it. I read a lot and I talk to a lot of people. Like my guest lineup today, Tony Perkins, Dr. Kevin Roberts with the Heritage Foundation, runs a big organization. Tony Perkins with the Family Organization, he runs a big organization. At the top, Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson at 9:30. I mean, Julie Quinn's going to join us. I hope to hear from Elbert Guillory. I hadn't heard back from Elbert. But anyway, I got a pretty good lineup, and then I get to talk to people behind the back, behind the scenes that maybe you don't know and don't need to know, but I get some inside scoop. And I try to share it with you best I can. But as a matter of fact, I do share it with you. I just share it in my own way. So I'm not I don't get up and down with elections, and I don't go up and down all day worrying about it because there's nothing for me to worry about. And it's nothing for me. It's nothing for us to worry about. Let's go vote. Election days are great days until they started implementing motor voter bills and vote by mail. And then every state has a right to do it their own way. But when Republicans get in charge of these states, they need to flip this and just do it the right way. Don't do it like Democrats. Your early vote, that's fine. Mail-in votes have to be in 4:30 the day before. No more early votes. We're not counting anything. You're not in line at 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock when the polls close, 6:30. You're tough tata. Somebody stands in the back line. Sorry, you can't vote. It's over. You should have been here then. These rude changes, be able to vote and register on the same day. I mean, just all these things. Illegals registered to vote in a lot of places. I mean, this is how you run a country. We ought to feel great about the election. We ought to feel great about the election. Every vote's going to count like it's supposed to. You got people like the senator, the pastor senator, Democrat senator from Georgia with record turnout in Georgia telling people to quit suppressing the vote. The vote's being suppressed. Record turnout. Just look at Oprah Winfrey. You see what Oprah Winfrey did? Oprah Winfrey at a Kamala Harris rally tells women they may never get the chance to vote again if Donald Trump wins. She is a multi-billionaire. How can somebody that nuts and crazy and ignorant be a billionaire? But they influencing people to go, oh, love. Well, if Oprah said it, I have never in my life said, well, so-and-so said it, I know 100% is true. Man, you got a right to disagree with somebody. Oprah's telling people, she's a billionaire, telling people, because she's a billionaire, hey, if you vote for Trump, you may never get to vote again, telling women that. And I just go, how leftist and cuckoo have we become? I mean, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Trust me, if we never get to vote again, it's going to come from the left. The ones that want to get rid of free speech. The ones that want to only have 2 news organizations that they control, and you got to believe it. I mean, the ones that open the border, it ain't open borders. We have no borders. The ones that don't mind if fentanyl come across and kill you, don't mind if people come across and rape a 4-year-old, they're telling you that Donald Trump's going to do this. Okay, I've read far right, far left. People telling me it's going to be a landslide. I don't hear that crap. I don't need a landslide. I mean, it'd be great if it's a landslide for Trump, but I don't want to hear that. Go vote. I voted this morning. Matter of fact, I spoke at a Republican Watchtower Republican women's group yesterday, a real good group. I had a lot of fun with them. And I asked them to raise their hand. They voted early. And I think me, my wife, and Maddie, who were there, and maybe 2 other people hadn't voted. Everybody had voted. I don't know, it's 40, 50 people, whatever the number was. 30, 40, 50, whatever it was. Everybody voted, but about a handful. They all voted early. They can get their vote in. That's happening all over the place. I mean, it just is. So I'm not into, last time we heard waves, and I had a few people say it's going to be a landslide. Look, hey, I wish it would be in the right direction. Because it could slow down what they're going to try to do to Trump if he wins. From inside the United States House or Senate, especially in the Senate, DAs, district attorneys, all these people that want him in, jail him. I mean, all that stuff's going to come after, because let me tell you, I know one thing about Satan. Satan is chaos. And what is the Democrat? Rahm Emanuel, who was Barack Obama's right hand person. With chaos, it creates opportunities for him. Never let a crisis go to waste. They live in chaos and crisis. That's of the devil, and it always has been and always will be. That's why that whole party has now become just evil. But you got to go make a decision. You got to go make a decision, and I hope you'll go vote. And remember, because you're in Louisiana, you already think you know how everything's going to turn out. When I went to the ballot, there was an amendment on the ballot. There was a congressional seat on the ballot. There was a public service commission seat on the ballot for me. I voted for Julie Quinn, had no problem with that at all. And I like Cocktail personally. I think he's a nice guy, but man, I just don't trust people that you can't trust. And so and then you had the president of the United States. But if you're in Baton Rouge, man, you got a gigantic mayor's race there. And there's money on the streets. And there's people going voting. That's going to be a heavy turnout there, but it looks like everywhere will be. And then you got the 6th congressional district that was handed to Cleo Fields by Republicans. And if there could be a miracle there where, Mr. Guillory didn't have a lot of money, just like Ms. Quinn didn't have a lot of money. So when you got a lot of money and somebody else doesn't have money, it usually makes a difference. But, boy, if we can get a runoff there, it would just be a blessing, because I don't know what the House is going to do, the Senate's going to do, and the presidency is going to do. I'm not speculating, folks. I'm going to leave that to the experts who, when I hear experts saying things, they bother me because they normally get it wrong. They normally get it wrong. And I'm going to wait and see. I'm a wait and see guy. I'm not going to be a roller coaster up and down and worry about what's going to happen. People that watch this, you guys that want to watch it, enjoy yourself, relax, enjoy yourself, ride that roller coaster. I don't do that. I quit doing that a long time ago. But it's what you do for a living. How do you know things? Well, I ain't got to watch somebody tell me, well, in this county last time, Joe Biden won by 10 votes. And in this county over here, Trump only won by 32 votes. And this time we got more Democrats than Republicans. And you go, oh my God, we're going to lose the county. Oh God, we're going to lose that county. We might lose the county. We won it last time. So, what you want me to do? You do what you can do. You can vote, and my friend Dan Bongino says something that's true. Try to get 10 people to go vote. I had one lady tell me that she was a Republican. Said, I don't know what I'm going to vote. I guess I'm going to have to look at the presidency and see who reflects my values. I did everything I could, folks, to just be cool. And I just made the comment. I said, if Kamala Harris's values of a no-border situation, of fentanyl coming across, of giving illegals money that we can't afford medical. I had Lyle Miller on yesterday talking about Medicare and the money we don't have for Medicare patients anymore, going to people who don't even belong here, that shouldn't be living here. Hundreds of billions and trillions of dollars going to people who don't deserve it, so we can't take care of our elderly, so we're going to do Medicare for all. That's what she believes. And I can't believe the woman even said that. But she don't like Trump, see? You hate Trump. But when you love America, you vote for Kamala. It's amazing to watch. Anyway, Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. You're welcome to call 844-766-6607. I'm expecting the Speaker of the House, who's been all over this country, to give us kind of an update. One last update coming out of the 9:32 break. Kevin Roberts at 11:32. Tony Perkins, I think, at 11. Julie Quinn would check in with us as well. So all that today, your calls are welcome. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. When you think about how you'll spend your money in retirement, what comes to mind? Probably travel, sunny beaches, and spoiling your grandchildren. But a recent survey found that over 30% of every dollar a retiree spends goes to taxes. Baby boomers were told for years to save money in their IRAs and 401ks and pay taxes later. Well, now that day has arrived, and boomers are shocked to see a third of their money going back to Uncle Sam. John Blanchard and the Matthew James Financial Group can help. What if you could protect all or most of your retirement wealth from future tax rate increases? Achieve a zero or near zero effective tax rate for most of your retirement years. Find out more. 337-366-8366. Isn't it time you got a second opinion on your wealth and retirement outlook? Learn how you could potentially kick the IRS out of your IRA. 337-366-8366 and online at MatthewJames.com.
Louisiana is unique. The food, the festivals, even the bugs. It's termite season. Did you know termites are responsible for over $1 billion worth of damage in Louisiana alone? For over 60 years, J&J Exterminating has been shielding homes and businesses. 100% guaranteed against termites, pests, and mosquitoes. Louisiana-owned, customer-focused. J&J Exterminating.
Call him today, make the pests go away. J&J Exterminating.
Get the shield.
Yeah. It's gumbo season. This year, I want you to try some Ragin' Cajun Authentic Roux and let Ragin' Cajun Roux do the hard work for you. Using just two simple ingredients. Ragin' Cajun Roux, a slow cook for 6 hours for the perfect dark and rich tasting gumbo. You can find Ragin' Cajun Roux and Ragin' Cajun Original Cajun Seasoning in all your favorite grocery stores today. Folks, ask them for that Ragin' Cajun. Try all your great Ragin' Cajun products. Ask for them by name in the grocery store. Ragin' Cajuns, folks. This food is great.
Support local business.
Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. What a day. Great day to be with you. Election day. If you hadn't voted, you got till 8 o'clock in Louisiana to vote. Outside the state, most of them are 8 o'clock, but some of them change. And check with your Texas, Mississippi, Arkansas, wherever you're at. Make sure you find out. By the way, Cane River Pecan giveaway starts now. Email me, moon at moongriffon.com. Just say I want to win Cane River Pecans and leave your address. I noticed some of you folks didn't put your mailing address. If you win, I can't send it to you. So, the holiday season's upon us. Every holiday I turn to my good friends at Cane River Pecans for my annual holiday gift. That's called gifting for us customers. And I love gifting this to my customers. They love Cane River Pecan. Cane River Pecan is a Louisiana family-owned company in New Iberia. They've been in the pecan business for over 55 years. My recipients love the pecans. I send year after year, and I wouldn't think of sending anything else. So for gifting needs for holidays, big or small, please consider Cane River Pecan Company at caneriverpecan.com. caneriverpecan.com. We're going to give away another lucky winner today. We'll win that. All you got to do is email me, moon@moongriffon.com. So anyway, there it is. All righty. Mike Johnson's going to join us coming out the next. Oh, by the way, another Kathy Hochul, New York Gov. She called Trump supporters anti-American and anti-women. Once again, they think they found a niche with the women voter who will vote for Harris because she's a woman. And, you can do that if you want to. And men can vote men because they're men if you want to. But I'm just telling you, you got to move beyond this. But this is what they do. Their closing argument is Trump people are garbage, hate women, hate America. You're not anti-America if you're willing to fight for American values. Anti-America is opening the borders. It's having no borders. Okay? Anti-America is running up this kind of debt, which Republicans are responsible for some of that too, but the Democrats keep running up. They don't care. Anti-American is, I think, killing babies. Anti-American is destroying the culture. Anti-American is telling little boys at 12 years old, if you have a sex operation, you become a little girl, or vice versa. Anti-American is allowing illegals to come over here with the fentanyl, killing our own people and raping people. That's anti-American. Anti-American is telling people what kind of car you have to drive and controlling your health care. That's anti-American. Being free to go be the best I can be. Anti-American is lying to the people about fossil fuels and burning the planet up. That's an outright lie from hell. It causes chaos. That's anti-American. People that don't vote for Kamala Harris have really looked at Kamala Harris and Kamala Harris's record and who she is. You can't vote for, you can. You can vote for Kamala. If she wins, you get everything you deserve. All right. You know what, Walker? Ooh. Why don't you do this? Would you, Mr. Guillory, if he wants a few more seconds, I don't have but a minute or two. Let's just go when we go to break, just tell him that, because I got Mike Johnson coming up. He can come on after Mike or come on at the 10:17, so we have to tell him because I just don't have enough time. And I want to give him at least 5-10 minutes. So that's anti-America, but so the Jets owners blasted the governor. But this is what they do. Their closing argument is to hate anybody that votes for Trump, anybody that would vote against Harris. That's the closing arguments. Let me ask y'all a question. Harris, her hug economy, everybody included, that does nothing, folks. She don't even have a clue. Somebody told me the other day, said, look, I don't like Trump. So I get it. But I got to vote for him because of policies, and I know what this woman's going to do. She's going to tear this country to pieces. Yes, and if Trump wins, they're going to tear it to pieces too because they're about chaos. This is not that hard. I don't think it's that hard. But Oprah Winfrey's out there, and the governor of New York's out there, and they let them say whatever they want to say, and they let them call Americans all these names. Women, they may never get a chance to vote again. Where did he get that from? Where do you get that from? But they say it over and over again. So Trump's closing argument is she broke it, we'll fix it. He's talking about the economy. He's talking about China. He's talking about the border. Okay? He's talking about the debt. He's talking about the things that matter, the economy where you make a good living, you go be the best you could be. He's talking about wiping out the Green New Deal. Hallelujah, somebody with some sense instead of printing all this money and doing what we're doing. What is she talking about? Group hug. Group hug. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to bring prices down. I saw a commercial where she said she's going to go after price gouging. Here we go again. She's going to fix prices on food. How did that work in Spain and Venezuela and Cuba and everywhere else has been done? And women with your children, you're going to give her an opportunity to try to make you great? It can't happen. Her policies make nobody great. They enslave everybody. All right, when we get back, the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, will get his report in on, he's been all over the country, folks. We'll be right back. With 5 Louisiana locations, I always make it a point to visit Superior Grill when I'm traveling in the great state of Louisiana. I love the food there. It's authentic Mexican food with a Louisiana twist. Their menu has all your favorites: nachos, quesadillas, enchiladas, tacos, fajitas, hand-cut steaks, and the best margaritas in the state. You can go to Superior for lunch or dinner, and folks, you're going to thank me for it. My lovely bride and I eat at Superior Grill every chance we get. They're on Line Avenue in Shreveport, Government Street and Highland Road in Baton Rouge, St. Charles Avenue in New Orleans, and on College Saloon in Lafayette. I'm talking great food, great service, and great margaritas. The best Mexican food with a Louisiana twist is found at Superior Grill, Shreveport on Line Avenue, Baton Rouge on Government Street and Highland Road, New Orleans on St. Charles Avenue, and College Saloon in Lafayette. This is Moon Griffon. I'll see you at Superior Grill. This is Moon Griffon. My good buddy Jeff and the folks at Hudco Roofing and Exteriors is Louisiana's premier professional roofing contractor, specializing in residential roofing services. Remember, your roof protects everything, you and your family, and most of your possessions. And that's where Hudco Roofing comes in. These folks aren't just your average roofers. They're the #1 roofing company in the state. Whether you need a repair or brand new roof, Hudco Roofing has you covered. Hudco is a CertainTeed Select Shingle Master and takes every roof all the way down to the decking to make sure there are no hidden damages. Hudco Roofing is also a state-certified installer of the Fortified Roofing System, and that's a big deal. Anywhere in Louisiana, you can get a free roof inspection and quote from Hudco Roofing. Go to HudcoRoofing.com for quality workmanship, premium products, and unparalleled customer service. This is Moon Griffon. I trust Hudco Roofing of Louisiana, and so should you. HudcoRoofing.com. That's HudcoRoofing.com.
Hey, folks, this hour of the Moon Griffon Show is brought to you by Champagnes, located in the Oil Center. Champagnes, going the extra mile.
Welcome. Hi, y'all all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. What a day. Great day to be with you. A great day to vote. Beautiful day when you have elections. If everything goes well for us, just being honest, it's a great day. And we thank every veteran and person that died for the right to vote. And they've been dying for this country since the country started. We're honored to have Speaker of the House Mike Johnson joins us. Giddy Mike. Mike's excited about what's going on. At least I think he's going to tell us that. So, Congressman, Mr. Speaker, tell me what's going on. Tell me what you're seeing out there. And I know early numbers are good, but that don't mean nothing because the election's not over. Are you there, Mike? Hello?
Yep.
Oh,
hey, Moon, sorry about that.
No,
yeah.
I got you now. I got you now.
Yeah, thank you. No, great to be with you, brother. I am excited. You know, we always knew this election could be a close one, and it is in some of these swing states. But I tell you what, I am feeling very energized and encouraged by what I'm seeing out here in the field. In addition to campaigning in Louisiana in my own district, of course, I've now led campaign events in more than 270 cities across 40 states. My team tabulated this, Moon. I've traveled the equivalent of 5.49 times around the earth. That's the stat they just gave me. So we raised roughly $300 million for the team. I mean, I have been on all the swing districts in all the states, and let me tell you what I'm seeing. There's an energy on the ground. I was in Pennsylvania this morning. I'm going to jump on a jet and come home to Louisiana for today, of course. But we went to 2 voting precincts after doing Fox and Friends this morning. The lines are wrapped around the buildings, Moon. I mean, people are saying these are the longest lines they've ever seen. Everybody's engaged. I think the energy is on our side. And I think Donald Trump's going back to the White House. I think we're going to take the Senate and grow the House majority.
Yeah, I didn't give you a number. I didn't give it to my audience yet. Maricopa County, and everybody's concerned about that area. There's 20,800 people that voted so far. 45% are GOP. Unaffiliated is 34%. And Democrats, only 19%. 45 to 19 in an area that, you would think that's one of the big concerns for the president and for y'all in Arizona. But look at those numbers. Does that maintain through today is my question.
Yeah, look, I think it will. We had a record number of early voter turnout, Republican turnout, across the country in every state, and everywhere that was allowed, of course. And because of that, we feel very good. Now, the question is, are we cannibalizing the votes that we would have had eventually? But what we are sensing, and what I've been saying on the campaign trail for almost a year now, is that we're in the middle of a demographic shift. You and I have talked about it, and I'm convinced we're going to have a record number of Hispanic and Latino voters and Black and African American voters and Jewish voters and union workers and people that have not traditionally been in the Republican camp in large numbers. They are now. And they're not coming reluctantly, Moon. They are highly motivated. And you know why? Because everybody recognizes, no matter where I go, everybody's fed up and fired up about the same things. The cost of living, the open border, rising crime rates, the weakness on the world stage. It's the same. It doesn't matter whether I'm in California, New York, or, the high north or the deep south. It's all the same. And everybody knows that Kamala Harris broke this. She broke everything, and Trump can fix it. And that's why they're so excited, and they're going to the polls in droves.
Yeah, it's are you running into people who voted maybe for Biden last time and Democrats that are saying I can't vote this way anymore, and people that go, I don't like Trump, but I got to vote for him. I mean, you got to be running to all kinds. I mean, you're all over the place.
All over the place. I hear that all the time. I heard it most recently about 15 minutes ago. Literally, I was working the line in Pennsylvania under state law. You can electioneer, quote unquote. You can talk to people, up to about 10 feet from the polls. So we were about 50 feet out. These long lines of folks. I'm just working the crowd, going down, taking pictures with everybody. People lean in and say, I'm a lifelong Democrat. I'm with Trump. I'm with you. I'm wearing my Trump Vance jacket and it has Speaker Mike Johnson on over one pocket and the Trump Vance logo on the other. And it draws a crowd. And everybody knows that this is the highest stakes election we'll ever be involved in, and they want to let their voice and their vote be registered. And that's what's happening.
Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, Congressman Johnson, of course, running his own race as well. If I had to say, is there anything that concerns you right now about anything? Because it looks like voter turnout is not going to be a concern.
No, it won't be a concern. I mean, look, we're always concerned about two things. Number one, Democrats on a national level in federal elections, they always outraise Republicans. That's just the way it goes. Now, you and I have talked about their online fundraising juggernaut called Act Blue, which is supposedly all these record number of small dollar donors. I think that's a fraudulent operation. Now they got money laundering going on. All that's going to be proven in court later. But they still have an avalanche of cash, and they've used that to beat up our candidates and lie about them. I mean, literally, it's one of the dirtiest campaigns I've ever seen, the dirtiest cycle I've ever seen. They just make things up out of the thin blue air and run it on the ads, and they have so much money to do it. But that aside, I don't think it's the quantity of the cash at the end of the day. I think it's the quality of the candidates. And we've got extraordinary candidates that we recruited in all these seats. The other thing we're worried about, of course, is election integrity. And that's always top of mind for everybody. It's the first question in every public forum, everywhere I am around the country. I have some hopeful optimism, Moon, that we're going to have a low level of fraud and irregularity because so much effort, so much work has been put into this, so much expense and investment to make sure that we have precinct captains and poll watchers and people, lawyers, armies of lawyers in every state. They've already been to court in states like Pennsylvania and Georgia to get court injunctions to stop the madness. We feel pretty confident that we're going to be able to do this. Now, there's going to be some non-citizens voting. There's going to be some crazy stuff going on. But I think we really can make it too big to rig. And that's been the phrase that Trump's been using for a year because he knows we have to, and I think we will. Yeah, it's a shame that I was mentioning before you came on. This is a great day. It's a great day to go vote. And everything's equal. Everything's honest. Everything's up front. It's one of the greatest times in American history every 4 years when you get to go vote for the President of the United States, among other elections that we have out there, Congress, Senate races and things like that, but just the President of the United States. And if everything's up front and honest, then I have no problem with what comes out. And that's always been my concern is the same one you had. I just believe that, and I'm hoping all this stuff works out like it needs to work out. And I hope you're correct on what you're saying because, Mike, I don't even watch this stuff. I know it shocks you, but I don't even watch this stuff. At the end of the day, I'm not watching it tonight. I just want to know who won. I'm not watching the soap opera up and down. You guys that follow this all the time, y'all enjoy that. I just want to know who won. That's what I want to know. And by the way, when Harris says in these couple of swing states, it might be a while, maybe days before we count the vote, you cannot explain that to me. You might can, but you can't understand it for me. We ought to be able to find out tonight every single state. Exactly right. Some of these states have crazy rules. Some of them won't begin counting, for example, mail-in ballots, early voting until the polls close tonight. And when you've got millions of votes to tally, it takes a long time, So, I think there's a possibility that we have a decisive win tonight for President Trump and down the ballot, and then we know the outcomes early on. And I certainly pray that's true. The longer it drags out, the more people have doubt in the system, that's a real problem, So let's hope. Let's keep our fingers crossed. I think it's going to work out.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's worried about turnout. I mean, you may say, well, who's voting? No. They have no enthusiasm behind Harris. I've not seen any of that. Anything I've read or watched, I've not seen any of that. And I don't know where they're going to get their enthusiastic votes out because I don't think there's any.
No, there's not. And I'll tell you, I was in Virginia last night. I did rallies last night in two of our closest House races. Jen Kiggins and Derek Anderson, two awesome veterans. Jen was a helicopter pilot, a nurse practitioner, and Derek Anderson was a Green Beret. Fought for his country. They're awesome candidates. And we had rallies. Jen Kiggins had over 2,000 people at her rally for a House race, for a little congressional seat. Derek had an overflow crowd at his event. There's a lot of energy in these swing states and swing districts, and I think it's going to make a big difference.
Hey, last question, get you out of here. You can do a better job than I can. The closing message for Trump and the closing message for Harris. You tell me tell me the difference between them, because there's a gigantic difference.
Kamala Harris has the same closing message, which is the only message she has had the entire campaign. She's running a campaign on fantasy over fact. She wants everybody to forget that she's the sitting vice president. Even she knows the country wants a change, so she's trying to pretend like she's a change agent. But her closing message has been, I'm not him. Donald Trump is bad. Please vote for me. That's not a message, That and abortion, that's all she's talked about. Mm-hmm. That's not going to win this race. People are concerned about the real issues, and Trump will fix it. That's been our closing message. Trump will fix it. People know that's true, and they're going to vote record over rhetoric, and they're going to do the right thing for America. And Moon, we're going to win all three, White House, Senate, and the House. I genuinely believe that. I believe God's not done with America yet. He's going to give us a chance to fix it, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah. Congressman Mike Johnson, of course, Speaker of the House in the great United States of America. All right, Congressman, good luck, and I hope you're an excited guy. I hope you're excited tonight. And you ain't got to wait 14 days. How about that?
Hey, that's right. John Quincy Adams said, duty is ours, results are God's. So I'll have peace, man, whatever happens.
All right, Congressman John. Thank you, sir.
You got it.
All right, folks, we'll take a break. More to come. Moon Griffon Show I think we're going to hear from Elbert Guillory for a few minutes. Julie Quinn at the top of the hour. I do have, I'm not making this up, I got two messages. One from Clinton, one from Reagan. It's right from heaven. We'll play that later in the program as well. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. I've been telling you about Schumacher Homes for a long time. Now, for a limited time, you can choose from 5 different financing offers and pick one that works best for you. Whether you're an active duty, military, or veteran, you can take advantage of the exclusive VA construction loan offer. You can lock in 30-year fixed financing for as low as 3.875. How about that? Looking to stay in your home and start construction right away? A stay-in-your-home loan might be right for you. With this option, you can stay in your home during construction and not worry about moving twice. And for you first-time home buyers, we're not going to forget you. For a limited time, they're offering 30-year fixed financing as low as 3.875. Other financing offers include no-cost refinancing, conventional loans, and FHA construction loans. If you're thinking of building your dream custom home, there's no time like the present to start building. SchumacherHomes.com. SchumacherHomes.com. Let them build your dream home. They're building dream homes one at a time.
Our state is facing a budget shortfall, left over by the last governor. Jeff Landry and the legislature already cut $2 billion for spending we don't need. Now they have to deal with this shortfall, but they've got a plan to deal with that and move Louisiana forward. This is what Governor Landry said.
This Louisiana Forward Plan, when fully implemented by the legislature and ratified by the people of this state, will produce more jobs, a greater prosperity, lower our taxes, and bring us a sustainable budget.
This plan cuts taxes for the middle class and all taxpayers, with the income tax rate dropped to just 3%. Job creators can grow the economy with lower taxes. Families and senior citizens, no more prescription drug sales tax. A different tax system which focuses on choices, not labor. And the Louisiana voters, we get the final say. Fixing the shortfall, cutting taxes, growing our economy. Now that's moving Louisiana forward. Paid for by Protect Louisiana Values.
Did you know?
Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Giving away Cane River pecans today. Email me, moon@moongriffon.com. Moon@moongriffon.com. Some of you people are not putting your physical address on there. If you can't win, if you ain't got your address, say you want to win pecans and put your physical address, and everything's cool. Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline, 844-766-6607 is the number if you'd like to be part of the program. By the way, if you didn't see this, and I don't really know what it means, in Dixville, I think it's in New Hampshire, they always vote. They always have 5 to, 8 different people that vote. And they always vote at midnight, easing into the new day. And in 2016, they voted 4-2 Hillary Clinton over Trump. In 2020, they got 5 votes. All 5 votes went to Biden, 5-0. This year, it was a 3-3 tie. So basically, Trump got about 2/3 of the vote he normally gets. So if you take 2 and 0, that's 1 a year. He got 3. You know what it means in the big picture? Nothing. But I wanted to tell you because some people look at that. Did you see what the Libertarian Party did in New Hampshire? Libertarian Party. The Libertarian Party, and there was a lot of independents and libertarians in New Hampshire, they endorsed Trump. They endorsed Trump. They didn't have a candidate on the ballot. They endorsed Trump. So I thought that people are starting to tell me we're having tornado warnings, Walker. I think you said that thing went off. Tornado warnings until 10 o'clock in certain parts of the state. I won't say Monroe to Ellick to Lafayette. That's the whole deal. So make sure if you're going to vote, you plan to vote. And if you got a little weather, you just wait it out. It's not going to be like that all the way to 8 o'clock. Don't not vote. Breaking news. I'm just giving y'all some news of the day. In Pennsylvania, Republicans are now even with Democrats in their mail-in voter and mail-in ballot return rate. They trailed by 8 points in 2020. Okay? So Dems firewall is now at 419,000 or 22.2%. In 2020, it was 1 million or 42%. So Republicans have done their job in Pennsylvania to this point. Everybody's got to go vote. That's just some of the stuff I'm finding out. I'm just sharing it with you. Okay. All right. Elbert Guillory joins us. He's running for the 6th consecutive district. Mr. Guillory, how you doing? Former senator. How you been?
Moon, good morning. It's always great to hear your voice.
Well, I know that you're trying to do something they say can't be done, Elbert. You're trying to beat a person in a district that they absolutely handed to him. It would be the biggest blessing of the whole election season besides the presidential election if for some way you get in a runoff and can go head up with Cleo and the Army comes in and you win in a December election when it's going to be hard to get people to come out and vote. But it all comes down to will it be a runoff?
We have a possibility of finishing this thing off tonight, but if there's a runoff, we're ready for it. We're energized. Our team has made plans already for it. So either way, we're ready.
Well, but you need to be, because I know that there's one candidate that has most of the money and all that stuff, but it's a different voter going out there today so far. It's a lot of numbers, and I know y'all looked at the numbers. Y'all got to feel pretty good in the fact that the people that are voting right now.
Absolutely. We think that a lot of people are beginning to open their eyes and beginning to be concerned about the freedoms and opportunities that can be lost if certain things happen, like the wrong people get sent to the White House.
Mm-hmm. I ain't no doubt about it. It's one of those things. But in your race, so what are people telling you? You look. Let's make no about this was set up for a minority to win. You're a Senate. I mean, you're a state senator. You're a black guy. You're in the Republican Party. I want people to know that. I think it's important because there's some people that will vote nothing but color, but they don't have to vote for Democrat. They got a Republican who fits the bill if that's all they're looking for.
Yes, indeed. I am definitely a black man and ready to do the things that they would expect a black man to do. But I'm also going to do all of the things that my God would expect a Christian man to do, and that is to represent every single person in this district.
Yeah, that's. I just always amazed when they draw a district, and there's not many districts. But then again, on the flip side, it's the one time black congressmen and white congressmen and Republicans and Democrats come together is for redistricting, and that's how this district popped up. It popped up because, well, I'm not going to get into that because I'm mad as hell that district even exists between you and me, but it also gives somebody like yourself an opportunity to go do something they don't believe can be done. And that's why I would love for you to, look, I know you're talking about winning. A runoff would be gold. A runoff would be golden.
Yes, it would.
And that's where we want you. And I know your opponent is out there and he's got money from the Democrats and they pushing it. But the voters, if they want to be independent, they would vote for you.
Well, we're certainly hoping that the voters turn out today, that they vote for America, that they vote for our future, they vote for the future of their children and their grandchildren. Get rid of some of this open borders business. Get rid of the crime. We've got to make America safe again for the people who are living here.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, and let me ask you a question, because you may answer this last time. Are you the only Republican on the ballot in that district?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. How many people total? What do you have, 5 or 6 people in that district, or just 3 running?
There are 5 people in this race, 4 Democrats and 1 Republican. I am the sole Republican in this race.
Man, they can get you over the top, man. That would be phenomenal. And I noticed in that district, I think you've had more Republicans vote than Democrats in that district. Am I correct?
That is correct.
Yeah. Well, that gives you an opportunity. All right, last question. What will you tell the voters? What do you tell the voters?
Please remember that I am a person who truly loves my God. I love my country. And I'm an old Opelousas country boy with country boy common sense. And that's what we need to send to Washington, D.C. A common sense man with a loud voice. Elbert Gildred, 22.
Yeah, and the only Republican in the race. I want people to remember that. I think that's very important. All right, Mr. Guillory, thank you, man.
Moon, thank you.
All right, God bless. By the way, and if you're being interrupted with weather deals, there's a big alert. There's a big watch for a tornado. Warnings and watches through Rapides Parish, all the way south down here where we live. So be careful. It looks like some bad weather. We're getting ready to get hit with some bad weather. Anyway, I'll take a break. Be back. You're listening to the Boone Griffon Show.
The Moon Griffon merchandise store is now open. Go to moongriffon.com right now and click on merchandise. There you'll find men's tees, ladies' tees, polos, fishing shirts, lounge pants, hats, and more. Through November 15th, a portion of the proceeds will benefit the Cajun Navy hurricane relief efforts. Show your love for the Moon Griffon Show by purchasing some Moon Griffon merch. Go to moongriffon.com right now and click on merchandise.
Craig Morrell.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL, Brobridge, Lafayette, a Town Square media station, broadcasting from the Matthew James Tax Pro Studios.
The polls are now open from Alaska to Maine. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Only Hawaii hasn't opened polls yet. In Oregon, they won't. It's all by mail there.
And the Trump campaign tells me the first two states they're going to be looking at are Georgia and North Carolina. Polls close in Georgia at 7 p.m. Eastern. They close in North Carolina 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Those two states will be the first bellwether they get to see how they're doing in these key battleground states.
Fox's Bill Malugin in West Palm Beach, Florida, where the former president will soon vote. He posted on Truth Social enthusiasm's through the roof, urging people to stay in line no matter how long it takes. Now, Pennsylvania is the biggest battleground of the 7 toss-up states. Fox's Jeff Manasso is there.
Voters lining up to cast their ballots here in Pittsburgh are divided on politics, though most of those that we talk to are confident.
I have high hopes. I'm not nervous, no. Turnout and what I'm seeing, I think we got this. We'll see what happens. I just don't know.
The question, did Donald Trump expand on gains in rural Pennsylvania, the counties surrounding Pittsburgh, Philly, and the middle part of the state? Or does Kamala Harris expand Democratic support around the suburbs?
Now, the vice president's campaign spokesman Michael Taylor tells Fox they are confident she can.
We think that if we perform strong, not only in the urban cores, but in these key suburban counties where you've had Republicans and independents increasingly move away from Donald Trump, we'll be successful tonight, and we'll be talking about President-elect Kamala Harris tomorrow morning.
Also on ballots today, abortion rights in 10 states and control of the next Congress. Democrats only need to win 6 seats to take the House majority, but Speaker Mike Johnson tells Fox he's confident Republicans will prevail.
The Hispanic and Latino vote is going to be historic this time. I think there's going to be a demographic shift.
Polls also have suggested Republicans could win the 2 Senate seats needed to take the majority there. The first polls will close about 8 hours from now, and Fox News Radio will have special live coverage starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Time this evening. Check this station or foxnewsradio.com for updates. America's listening to Fox News.
Connect to Fox News Audio on the Fox News app. Listen to hear your favorite hosts like Brian Kilmeade, Jimmy Fallon, and Guy Benson standing up for what's right, live and via podcast. Just click listen, then swipe right and hear the latest news updates on your time. And scroll down to hear the latest podcasts from Fox News. And it's even easier to listen in the car with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Get programming alerts and notifications. Fox News Audio is on the Fox News app. The voices America trusts. Download it now. From the Fox News Podcasts Network.
I'm Ben Domenech, Fox News contributor and editor of the Transom.com daily newsletter. And I'm inviting you to join a conversation every week with the smartest thinkers out there about the issues Americans face and where we're going as a nation. This show will feature deep dive interviews with newsmakers and some of your favorite Fox News analysts. I hope you'll join me as we dive into the fray. It's the Ben Domenech Podcast.
Subscribe and listen now by going to foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you download podcasts.
Today is the day. It's Election Day across the United States, and you can join us here on News Talk 96.5 KPEL all day for the best coverage. Of course, you'll hear from Moon Griffon, Dan Bongino, Sean Hannity throughout the day, and then starting at 4 o'clock, our local coverage begins with the Josh Guillory Show, followed by the Joe Cunningham Show. Then at 6 o'clock, it's our election night coverage brought to you by the Matthew James Tax and Wealth Management Group. The most comprehensive Election Day coverage in South Louisiana is right here on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
Court-appointed special advocates, or CASA, are specially trained volunteers that help secure safe homes for abused and neglected children. Don't let these innocent victims slip through the cracks of our complicated legal system. Get involved today. Call CASA at 268-5111. This nonprofit organization moment brought to you by News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
The views expressed in the following show are those of the hosts or hosts only. They do not represent News Talk 96.5 KPEL or Town Square Media.
Hi, hello. Welcome back. It is great to be with you. Matthew James, Business Tax Reduction Hotline, 844-766-6607. Also, you can email me, moon@moongriffon.com. Don't forget Cane River Pecan giveaway. I got to tell you, if you're gifting to your customers, go to caneriverpecan.com. You owe it to yourself to send the best. And once they get pecans, they're going to love you. I'm just telling you. Cane River Pecans. I saw a saying today, American decides great again or never again. That's about what it is. All righty. There was one other thing. Dang it, I forgot what it was. Anyway, it must be an age thing. All righty. By the way, there's some bad weather out there. So, all right. We are joined by former state senator Julie Quinn, who says, I want to be the next public service commissioner. Julie, how you doing?
Hey, good morning. I'm doing great.
Well, it's good to hear from you again. I want to wish you the best of luck. This district for public service commission, how does it break out from, I'm going to just say from Baton Rouge to Lafayette and in between? Tell us where all this district goes.
Yeah, it's 13 parishes, and I'll name them real quick, and then I'll kind of tell you the breakdown. So it's East Baton Rouge, West Baton Rouge, Iberville, West Feliciana, East Feliciana, Point Capiz, St. Martin, Lafayette, Lafourche, Terrebonne, Assumption, Ascension, and Livingston.
Yeah.
And the Metro Baton Rouge comprises about almost 26%. The Metro Lafayette area comprises 25%. The Bayou, which is Terrebonne and Lafourche, I think is about 13%. And then we have kind of other, which makes up the rest.
Yeah. So the interesting part about this is over in Baton Rouge, East Baton Rouge, in that area, you got a really hotly contested mayor's race. So,
boy, do we.
and so my question on that, how does that determine, the turnout, which will determine the winner of this race, or if there's a runoff?
Well, turnout is going to be extraordinary in, the presidential election, and then, of course, a very hotly contested Baton Rouge election. So there's going to be a lot of turnout in Baton Rouge, which will help me, of course. And there'll be, there's a female and a male candidate in that race, and a female and a male candidate on the presidential ballot. So, that's also going to turn out female voters, which I think should help me. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah. It's and I know you have to fight. And by the way, I thought your commercials here were really good. But I know one candidate had all the money, and everybody else had to struggle with raising money it's because if you're a former representative, if you're a representative and you were head of he was actually head of the natural resources. And he was there because he knifed all the Republicans in the back to become the natural resource committee chair. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then so when you get there, now you can
yeah.
raise money. You can raise money because
That's
you
right.
knife Republicans in the back. If I could sit and explain that to everybody, they could never argue with me.
Yeah, I wish you could get that message out, because basically if you can cut deals for your own self-interest, you can buy your way to any position, almost, buy your way to any position you want. In this case, it's funny because if we're in a debate, my Republican opponent will say, oh, well, almost all of my donations were from people. Well, yeah, they're registered lobbyists. It was pay to play. Yeah. So his donations came from utilities, stakeholders, and lobbyists. That was the overwhelming majority. So, yeah, he was able to raise 7 times the amount of money I was because, they're afraid if he loses, they've got to curry his favor and vote.
Yeah. Well, what do you feel right now? You've been out there. You've been out there for a while now running for this position, as long as he has.
Yep.
So what do you feel like? Give me the positives of what you see happening in this race. Is it a runoff race? Is it a Republican and Democrat? Could 2 Republicans get in this? Just give me your feel on the race as of right now.
Yep. So first of all, personally, I'm shocked and I mean this sincerely, at the overwhelming amount of support I've gotten with only basically $100,000 to spend. $100,000 doesn't hardly go anywhere with 3 media markets to buy into.
Sure.
And so the support has been amazing. People who study this inevitably come and say, you're the better qualified candidate. We love you. I've had a couple people message me and say, oh, my gosh, I just saw your commercials. I wish I would have seen them before. I would have voted for you. Yeah. Now, most people say, I voted for you. Good luck. But now, as far as let's get to your real question, what kind of runoff is this going to be? I mean, I don't think anyone expects anything but a runoff. Conventional wisdom would be that the Democrat always gets in the runoff because they get a solid 30% thereabouts just for putting their name on the ballot. You don't have to spend a penny, and you're going to get 30%. The problem with that is that's all you're going to get is 30%. Yeah. You're not going to get much more than that in a runoff. So conventional wisdom is one Republican and one Democrat. It could be different this time. It could be two Republicans in the runoff, J.P. Couson and myself. Particularly because, I have spent more money than the Democrat, and there's a large female voter turnout this time. So you just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm just kind of curious if it's a force of runoff and it's two Republicans in December, how do you like your chances if you can get in a runoff? What do you feel would change if you got in a runoff? That's
going to change everything.
That's what you got to. That's what you got to be thinking, Julie. If you get in a runoff. And you and Cocktail, absolutely. You got to be thinking about, okay, how does this change? So how do you feel like it changes?
It changes everything, and I'll tell you why. Walking into this, Senator Couson and his team told everybody, I've got this wrapped up in the bag. There's no sense in giving any money to anybody. You're foolish if you do. Said all kinds of things. I'm not even going to tell you, who's supporting me and who's coming out for me, and none of that happened. I'm going to have $1 million. He didn't. The governor's coming out. He didn't. That kind of thing. And so a runoff confirms the bravado was not true. And, I've had people in the last 48 hours start wanting to contribute money to me because they're like, oh, wait, you have a shot. So it's a whole new ball game in the runoff.
But it's a lot. Is it true to say there's a lot bigger percentage of vote where you are than over here where I am? I'm just curious.
I wouldn't say a lot, but definitely. So it's about, like I said earlier, we have about 26% in what's called the Baton Rouge area, and there's about 25% in the Lafayette area, which includes Lafayette and St. Martin. But the turnout in the Metro Baton Rouge area is always greater for some reason than the Lafayette area. So when you look at if he and I are in the runoff together, you look at a December election with very low turnout, that definitely favors me.
Yeah,
and there's also substantially more Democratic vote in the Lafayette area than there is in the Baton Rouge area, so that would also favor me in the runoff.
Yeah, I had I've ran into Cocktail Couson, asked him to come on several times. He just will not come on the program. He does not want to take questions from me. And I got a lot of questions for him, but he just doesn't want to take them from me. I wish he had. But
WDSU wanted to have a debate with us. I signed up immediately. Was anxious, was prepared to go, and then I found out the night before that he didn't respond, so we couldn't have the debate.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, it is. That's like I said, when you got the money, the game changes for you. They get to put out commercials bombing you, and then get to put out commercials how great they are. And every time I see he's conservative and people are saying that, I just want to puke. Well, I do because I know I watched the voting record. I watched what he did voting. I watched him knife his fellow Republicans in the back. I mean, I watched it, and it just was frustrating to me. But people move on and forget that. I don't forget it, but the people that moved on and forgot him, some people that said they'll never vote for him, supports him. And I just kind of laugh at him because they'll never.
Such a good following.
Ma'am?
You have a really good following because you are true to your principles. You speak the truth. You're not afraid to speak the truth, and that's why people listen to you.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm humble you said that. It is what it is. I'm not going to I've never sugarcoated it, and I've never had friends or behind the microphone. If you got to ask a question, you ask a question. I'm not perfect. I miss on some of that, too. I was just kind of curious how it works. So, okay, what's your sales pitch? What's your last sales pitch to the voters and the people you're talking about right now? If they haven't voted, now if they voted, there's nothing you can do about it. But if they've not voted yet, they've seen your commercials, they like them. What is your sales pitch to go, hey, here's why Julie Quinn is the one you ought to vote for?
Because I'm the one that wants the responsibility, not a title. There's a huge difference. And Jean Paul can say what he wants, but there's several people that have heard him say this, that he wants out of the Senate because it was too much trouble and too much time, and the Public Service Commission would be an easier job for him. I actually want the job. I want the responsibility, and I'm going to do a better job for the people, and I'm more qualified. Just bottom line, I'm more qualified. So, you know, you can look online, see my history. Sometimes I look back and I go, gee, I did all that. Yeah. But I did a lot in my life, and I want to serve the people. I don't want a title.
But, Julie, best of luck. People voting in the Public Service Commission race. I think this is the only one on the ballot. I will tell you, we voted for you, and we'll wait and see what happens now.
Thank you.
So anyway, best of luck. God bless.
Thank you so much, Moon.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
We got to take a break. I heard Kusal tell somebody, Moon said he ain't getting involved in this race. I haven't. You were welcome to come on. You didn't. Number two is I thought you bombed her and you had all the money. And I thought, wow, look at this. Cocktail out there running commercials, and money usually wins. But let's see what happens. All right, we got to take a break. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show, Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. We'll be right back.
The sun has never raised its rates, but your local energy company sure has. Solar Louisiana can install residential home solar systems with huge battery storage, or they can add batteries to your existing system. If there's an outage, you're sitting pretty with all the electricity you need. Imagine an electric bill so low, you can pay it with pocket change you find in the couch. Solar Louisiana has the experience you need to make the right decision. Online at solarlouisiana.net. Your energy independence company, Solar Louisiana.
If you've got some projects to do around the house and you need the voice of experience, of local voice, somebody that can help you and knows Louisiana, you need to check out Stein Home & Yard. They're a Louisiana company, founded, established here. They've been based here. Their story dates back all the way to 1946. Stein Home & Yard has all the things you need to make your house ready for fall. Great deals on fall plants like mums, as well as all sorts of handy items you need for your house. Need to upgrade your power tool game? They've got great deals on DeWalt power tools. They also have great deals on grills for your next tailgate for the big game this weekend. Traeger pellet grills, Weber grills, Charbroil, so many great brands, and it's all right there at your fingertips. Just pull them up, steinhome.com. Steinhome.com is where you need to go to find the greatest deals on your home improvement needs. Steinhome.com, a great Louisiana company.
Oh, Shucks, you've been hearing me brag about Shucks. Been going there for many, many years. Shucks does a great job. If you like seafood, you got to go to Shucks in Abbeville. I'm telling you right now, there's shrimp, there's oysters, there's fish, all fresh, every day right off the boat. So if you want something fresh and you want fresh seafood, you got to go to Shucks. Don't forget, if you're having a party, call Shucks. Let them cater the event for you. Or you can go pick it up. Shucks, they're waiting on you. If you want a great time and you want great food, you got to go to Shucks in Abbeville. Shucks, oh, they're good.
Talk.
Atlas Foundation Repair, 800-256-1010. Louisiana-owned Atlas Foundation Repair, 800-256-1010. Call Tony Arpino. I have known him for years. Okay, get them pieces ready. Hi, hello, welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607 is the number. I keep getting all kind of information from people all over the country with some stuff that's going on, polls. We'll see. We'll see if there's any surprises. There's already been something that polls in Pennsylvania may stay open another 3 hours in one of the counties because something went down. Would that surprise anybody? It would not surprise me at all. And I'm sure it wouldn't surprise you either. But it is. Anyway, I heard... just to let y'all know, I got a call from two former presidents, one from heaven and one from earth. So, Walker, you know what order they're in? So the first one is Bill Clinton. President Clinton. He sent me a little message, and I want to play that one first, and then one from heaven, old Ronnie. Here we go, Clinton.
Hey,
Moon, this is Bill. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Yeah. Clinton, yeah, you got me, baby. Hey, I just felt like I could call in and share with you. I haven't told Hillary this, but I feel like it could push her over the edge, but I just feel like I need to open up and share it with someone who understands, Moon. You know what I'm saying? So, I haven't told her this, but I voted for Trump. I mean, he paid for my golf game, gave me a dozen golf balls, 2 mulligans. And have you seen his wife, Millennial? She's my Statue of Liberty. And one more thing, Moon, I'll tell you what, you are a good guy, Moon Griffon. Let me just say this. If I had met Sarah Palin in college, I'd be a Republican today. That's just how I feel. I felt like it's a crucial time to share this, and I just feel like I needed to. So God bless you, Moon, and God bless America.
All right, we're listening to Reagan on the backside. Christy Lynch joins me running in District number 2, right, Christy?
Yes, sir, I sure am.
Okay.
Congressional District number 2.
Lady, this is it. This is for all the marbles. What are you telling voters right now? I mean, what are you still hearing in your district? Troy Carter is the guy you're running against. They built the district for Troy, and you're trying to unseat him and make him to the runoff and see what happens. So what are you telling voters now?
I'm telling them I have a lot of practical experience. I didn't go to college until I was 33 years old. So that meant as a young woman, I had to make my way in the world without a college degree. 33, went and got a college degree. Made my way through the world with a college degree. Finished up as an auditor. I have financial accounting background, so I'm well prepared to look at financial statements, to look at government contracts, and also fraud examiner. So I spent a lot of time learning and working with governmental fraud. And so after that, I became a professor, so I've been teaching people, and I know how to get people jump-started in life. So I have a lot of practical experience, a lot of good experience to bring to this position, and also, too, to help our country move more towards fiscal responsibility. So I think our country is going to change today, and I'm ready to put my shoulder to the push that will change this country and make our people more self-sufficient and independent and have the ability to make their own way through life. I'm very passionate.
Let me ask you, what makes a young lady like yourself want to run in a position when you knew they kind of draw a district for somebody? I mean, I know that's got to frustrate you to even make up a district like that.
Not frustrate me. What pulls me forward is listening to all of the concerns, talking to people up and down this 10-parish footprint. People are spooked. And there's a line in the Bible where it says, Jesus, for the joy set before him, endured the cross and despised the shame and still moved forward. And that's how I feel. I feel like people are basing their concerns and the fact that they don't know what they're going to get from the Democratic Party. They're very upset about illegal immigration, and I feel as though they are pulling me forward and saying, please give us a voice, give us a choice. And for that, I tell you, this run has been joyous. It's been, in a lot of ways, miraculous. It has been just incredible. I would not trade this experience with anybody for anything, and I think everybody should run for office at least once and really listen to people and hear what they have to say.
Yeah, what number are you on the ballot, Chris? And are you the only Republican? Are you the only Republican in that race?
No, there are two other Republicans in the race. I am number 9 on the ballot. I have a carload of endorsements. Endorsements from LA GOP, Orleans, Jefferson, Iberville, Ascension, St. Bernard, St. James, the Louisiana Republican Women. I am been a strong candidate. I have the most experience and education and community activism. I am the president of a local neighborhood association where we have been able to absolutely change things around here in Algiers, and I've been able to work across the aisle depending upon mutual interest, but I have I will not break faith with the people of Louisiana. I will not get out of my lane when it comes to huge principles that are guided by God, namely abortion and or anything that smacks of being not fiscally responsible, not helping people get through lives by not putting more inflation and more burden of debt on their lives. I firmly believe that our people are ready to be unleashed, and we're going to join the rest of the states in the southern part of the country, and we're not going to lose citizens anymore, and we're going to attract people back here, and we're going to have an economic boom in Louisiana, and I want to be part of it.
All righty. God bless. Best of luck.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate
you. I'll take a break. More to come. Moon Griffon Show. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. When we get back, I got a clip from Reagan, too, all the way up there in heaven. We'll be right back. I've been bragging about Dino Hardwoods for a long time. My good friend Charles Altman, they do an excellent job. And if you're looking for unique or hard-to-find hardwood lumber, plywood, and molding, it's Dino Hardwoods. That's where you need to go. DinoHardwoods.com, DinoHardwoods.com. Trust Dino Hardwoods for all your hardwood lumber and cypress needs. With the holiday season fast approaching, as you know, a timeless handmade gift using quality lumber by Dino just means more. With 3 great locations to serve you now, Broussard, Louisiana, Shreveport, Louisiana, and now he's expanded in Tyler, Texas. Folks, there's something for every discerning woodworker at Dino. Go to DinoHardwoods.com, DinoHardwoods.com, and check out the unique and hard-to-find hardwood, lumber, plywood, and molding that you can't just find anywhere. Charles Altman, trust me, is not a better man in the business. He knows what he's doing, and he wants to service you. DinoHardwoods.com, DinoHardwoods.com.
My husband and I were invited to a 50th wedding anniversary. I noticed this little lady, and she was basically sitting alone. Her daughter turned to me just as I came over to introduce myself, and she said, "My mother has Alzheimer's." She had not said her daughter's name in 2 years. She didn't recognize her. I said, "Listen, we might be able to help her." And about 3 weeks later, they show up. We gave her 5 days of treatment. This lady, each day got a little better and a little better. She started flirting with the guys. She was so cute. My friend said, "You're smiling a lot." And she said, "They make those here." The next day, says out loud, "Martha, would you get me a cup of coffee, please?" Her daughter, Martha, breaks down crying because her mother hadn't said her name in 2 years.
Learn more about treatment for Alzheimer's at SpringfieldWellnessCenter.com. Springfield Wellness Center.
Hey, if you... I'm Shanola Hampton. Every day, millions of people face hunger. Today, I will share with you some of their experiences. I'm stuck between paying for medications or paying for food. John from Maine. After paying my bills, I can buy groceries. It's sad to say, food comes last. Alice from Oregon. I thought pantries were for less fortunate people, but anybody could be less fortunate in a day or even a second. Claire from Virginia. The Feeding America network of food banks helps provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. No one should have to worry where their next meal will come from. Together, we can end hunger. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. That means it could be you, your best man, your worst man. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org to know where you stand. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
This hour brought to you by the Matthew James Tax Pros. Find them online at MatthewJamesTaxPros.com.
Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show, Election Day. Make sure you vote if you haven't voted yet. Not a whole lot on the ballot, at least where we voted. It was 4 things. You might have 5 or 6, depending on where you are voting at. So make sure you check it out. Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. Just go vote, folks. It's a great feeling. It really is. If you like to vote, I think of all the veterans and the people that, from the time this country started to the day, who's lost their lives and things like that, what other countries go through. We don't have to go through it unless we fundamentally change the United States of America. If we fundamentally reform America like Obama wanted to do, it'll never be the same. And by the way, and I've already read this in Pennsylvania, Republican National Chairman posted on X about 2 developing situations. Early in the morning, learned Republican poll watchers in Philadelphia, York, Westmoreland, Lehigh, Cambria, Wyoming, and those counties with Republicans were being turned away, the Republican poll watchers. So they deployed attorneys, engaged, and now report that all Republican poll watchers have been let into the building. We would keep fighting by winning. He noted another issue for voters in Cambria County. We understand there are some line delays on the ground. We need you to stay in line. We need you to fill out your ballot in full and deliver it. Pennsylvania laws are all over the issue. We ensure fairness and accuracy in the process, while they then urge voters to stay in line, deliver your ballot. And, of course, I just read, because Fox is up there, and the Pennsylvania is already asking people to be patient when they count the votes because it could take a while. So that's a swing state that everybody's watching. We'll see what happens. But I'm going to tell y'all, you're not going to have a perfect election. It's not going to go every way you want it to go. There are possibilities. Sometimes it just pops up as a problem. Okay? It's something. Crap happens sometimes that nobody can control. The counting of the votes have always been one of my biggest beefs. Is why does it take so long to count when it didn't at one time? And that's always been my beef with these states who can't get the counting right in a right time and fashion that you need to do it. It makes no sense. All the early voting in Pennsylvania, they ought to be counting those votes right now as we speak. Right now. You can't count them for the election. Yes, you can. Louisiana does it. You can count your votes, have them ready to go. And then when the last bit of the election comes in, you count those and you ought to have results. So some of these places are designed for it to be a possibility if they need something. And that's where the doubt comes in. There's no depression of anybody voting. I don't know of anybody that can't vote if you're a registered voter. There's some states that allow illegals to get on the ballots. I mean, this should never happen. That's fundamental to being a good process. That's what I mean when I go vote. It makes me feel good to go vote. I feel like my vote's going to count. Okay? If something goes wrong, then it goes wrong. But at least you got to feel good. It's great to be able to vote. Matter of fact, I got a message from in heaven. I got a message from heaven from Ronald. Oh, no. From the former president. Is what he sent me. I want you to hear what he sent me.
Hello, Moon. This is Ronnie up in heaven, Reagan. Yes. May I just say how proud, first of all, I am to be able to connect with you and all your listeners. Yes. No. Maybe. I don't know if you've seen the movie Reagan yet, Moon, but it's a good one. Only a couple of corrections. Number one, Nancy was a great president. Number two, when she told Gorbachev to tear down that wall, Gorby didn't hesitate. You don't want to mess with Nancy. Yes. And by the way, Moon, I remember when I ran for president, they made a big to-do about my age. Said I was too old. And they kept always bringing it up, and it bothered me. And, well, yes. Yes, bothered Nancy. Always bringing up my age. But I remember having coffee one time with Abraham Lincoln, and he said it bothered him too. May I just say, God bless America, and may God's people, God's voters, vote Reagan-esque. God bless you, Moon, and my best to your family. They're beautiful. And When I saw Nancy the other day at a coffee shop, and she said to tell you hello as well up here in heaven. So long. God bless.
All right, that's from heaven, man. You can't beat that, can you? Anyway, folks, that's what I meant by watching stuff and reading stuff, and I'm reading it. And I saw another poll. I saw another deal in Georgia where 55% of the people have voted already. 56% were women, 44% were men. And they said black women were outvoting black men by a lot. And I told them it doesn't matter because the black men that are not going to vote would take votes off of Kamala Harris because they usually vote Democrat. So I'm saying when those numbers come out like that, you just got to be careful. They're looking at 150. They've already had 82 million people vote before today. 82 million. If that many turn out today, it's going to be an interesting election. Okay? You go back to Pennsylvania. Republicans are now even with Democrats in their mail-in ballots return rate. They trail by 8 points in 2020. The Dem firewall is now at 419,000, or 22.3%. In 2020 was a million at 42%. That is a gigantic difference, folks. So, this is one of those elections that it could really break hard for a candidate. And that's what I'm hoping, it'll break for the right candidate. I know that everything I look at when people start talking about inflation, economy, and the border, none of those issues benefit the left who created the problems. They created the problems, and I don't think anybody needs to tell you. I had my buddy Lyle Miller on yesterday, and he said that just going to the donut place, picks up donuts for his mama, goes to the nursing home. And he said, he's paying $9 and some. He gave $10. He said, sorry, sir, it's $11 and something cent. He figured it was a 16% increase just 1 week to the next. And that's what nobody is the politicians and media can tell you it's not a problem. Things are going great. But, I always said Wendy's is closing 150, 200 stores. True Value is closing and selling. Dirt Cheap is going to be gone. And some of the big car manufacturing places are cutting jobs. In real time, the media would be reporting that and going to visit with people and telling people what's going on. They would be letting people know. But the fact is, I don't need to know about economy. You don't have to tell me. I live in my own economy. I don't have to tell you. I don't have to tell you what's going good, what's going right, what's going wrong. You know. That's why I just think this election, in my opinion, should be a landslide for Trump. And then you got the people that hate Trump and Republicans and never Trump was in that. But if you just look at conditions and what's going on, do you want Kamala Harris dealing with the Chicans? Do you want them dealing with North Korea and Russia? Really? What's she going to do, get over there and laugh at them? You need somebody strong. You need somebody strong. She is not strong. There are women that are strong enough to do it, but she ain't one of them. And that's what I don't understand with women. She's not your strong leader. She's not going to be able to put you under her wings and take care of you. Absolutely impossible for anybody in president to do that. You need to be set up where we're free to be the best we can be and that you can go be the best you can be. And that your kids are protected. Kids will never be protected if you have no border. Never. Ever. And what Kamala Harris and them have done, they're going to double down and do it even worse. And I got to tell you, for our friends that are on Medicare, and I'm close to it, giving money to illegals to live, to eat, and medicine and things of that nature is wrong when we can't take care of our elderly. It's wrong. And if we can't see that and people go vote for Kamala Harris, we'll just get everything we deserve. And I hate to say that because some people don't deserve what we'll have to go through under them. All right. When we get back, we'll pick a winner of the Cane River Pecans. That's right. I'm giving it away every day for 6 weeks. CaneRiverPecans.com, CaneRiverPecan.com for all your gifting for your customers. All right, take a break. Be right back. Nestled in gently rolling hills in North Louisiana is a place that produces the finest Louisiana wines around, Landry Vineyards. This place is phenomenal. Not only are they passionate about growing wine grapes and making Landry Vineyards wine, they also have cottages and RV sites you can rent, tours, and live music on Saturdays and tastings Monday through Saturday. Available in over 650 stores throughout Louisiana, I encourage you to visit and try Landry wine direct from Landry Vineyards. This is another great Louisiana company that has my full support, and they are Louisiana certified. A red blend they labeled Bayoutage, Blackberry Merlot, Cabs, Rosé, Petit Syrah, dry and sweet whites, and many, many other wines. Learn more about their wines and their vineyard online at LandryVineyards.com. This is Moon Griffon. My lovely bride and I love the wines from this great Louisiana company, Landry Vineyards, and so will you. Go visit their beautiful winery and find them in your local grocery store. If they don't have Landry Vineyards wine, ask and ask again. LandryVineyards.com. Woo, good wine right here.
It started with direct messages. That's how they got to my son. Gavin was just 17 and looking forward to college. He was contacted by online predators pretending to be a teenage girl. He was the victim of sexual extortion. In less than 2 hours after that first message, Gavin died by suicide. It's a pain I don't want any other parent to feel. Social media is causing an epidemic of bullying, anxiety, and depression, and it's leaving kids vulnerable to the kind of predators that targeted my son. We have to hold big tech accountable and pass the Kids Online Safety Act. I couldn't protect my son, but now it's my mission to make sure all kids are protected. I'm a father and a proud conservative, and I'm here to tell Speaker Johnson, pass the Kids Online Safety Act, because nothing is more important than protecting our kids.
Paid for by Issue One Action, which is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. IssueOneAction.org.
Hello, welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607 is the number if you'd like to be part of the program. 844-766-6607. Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline is the number if you'd like to be part of the program. It's an opportunity for you. Harris says, we are the promises of America. Oh, my God. They're the promises of America. By the way, let's jump gears real quick. Let's stick our head down in the mayor's race in Baton Rouge. We are joined, it's an honor to have him on, legendary coach, guy that's in the political landscape now, Coach Sid Edwards. Sid, how you doing?
Good, Moon. How you doing, boy? Glad to hear your voice.
Well, I appreciate it. You know, you got to coach at my old alma mater when I played at Redemptorist for just a couple of years. It was a short stint, but hopefully I didn't ruffle too many feathers. It was a lot of fun for me.
Oh, no. You just gathered rings, man. Who's back in the house? And, of course, I went to school with Kurt. So. Oh my
God! I'm not gonna hold it out against you. My son's my producer. When you said Kurt, he fell out laughing because he knows the character of my brother Kurt.
Oh, it is a beautiful soul.
He's a good man. All right, Sid. So, talk a little bit about the election. I mean, how you feeling? Do you feel like there's a runoff? You feel like you have an opportunity? Because Baton Rouge needs a change. They need a big change, and the person that's there and the other one that's running is not going to be changed for Baton Rouge. So talk a little bit about why you're doing this and why you think you're the best guy for the job.
Well, I looked at it. I studied it for a while. I was living in Central and got approached about running for office out there many years ago. And I said, no, I'm just a ball coach. I'm going to work with these kids. That's going to be my civic duty. I'm going to do what I do. Well, then I moved to Baton Rouge in 2016, shortly after the flood, and started paying attention and seeing my hometown and what was going on. And then on New Year's Day, man, this past New Year's Day, one of my 15-year-old football players was gunned down and killed on Evangeline Street. Well, since that January 1st day, Moon, 4 kids affiliated with Estruma High School have been killed.
Oh, my God.
And it was like an awakening. I'm looking. And then I kept saying, okay, who's getting in this race? What's going on? Who's going to? And, man, nobody I saw that could fix it. So then I had to study and say, okay, can I do this? You know, I in other words, I'm not going to go operate on the brain of a patient tomorrow, right? Can you do it? And unequivocally, the answer was yes. And that's when I decided. I still prayed about it, and I said, you know what, I'm going to jump in. And that was on July 19th. So I haven't had, of course, I don't have the money or the time the other folks do, but I feel good about it. I have no reference point. I've never done this. You know, I could get 17 votes tonight. I don't know. Yeah. But I know we've ran we've worked very hard. I'm still coaching. I'm still teaching. I'm still raising 2 young autistic adults in the campaign. But God got his hand on it. If God writes it, it's going to happen.
Yeah. You know, and I think, Sid, we've been looking for people like you, people that will run for the right reason. You had no intentions of ever running for a race. You're dealing with 2 kids. I have a special need child. And so I know what it takes to do that. But you've coached all these young men and women, especially the men, young boys, black and white, green and yellow, and you've already had a hand on people. And you've seen these people, these young kids get killed. I'm sure it breaks your heart. And so crime has got to be a big deal for you guys. I mean, it's got to be something that we change, not only in Baton Rouge, all over the country, but since you live in that area, that's where the change has to take place.
Correct. And if we don't fix that, you know, we've been to forums and debates. We've talked about economic development, infrastructure, which is all important. I mean, it's critically important. But who wants to come here and bring some economic development? Who wants to come open up here? So my platform has been the crime issue, the blight, and the homeless population, the need for a new parish prison to not only house people but to help them. And very important to me is a psychiatric facility here. You know, when all those got shut down some years ago, I mean, I shudder to think if my wife, something happened to us with my 2 boys on the street in Baton Rouge, because that's where a lot of our mental illness is. Yeah. You know, that homeless population. So that's going to be my focus. But make no mistake about it, crime is going to be the number one thing.
Yeah, but I think crime and jobs, I've been fussing for 31 years that we need to change the economic development, the economic attitude here to where business becomes more important than government. Government's important. I never said we don't need government. But you got to make it where people can go out and be the best they can be, but then they need to be protected. Those 2 things, like you said, they go hand in hand for you.
They do. And you know, with a lot of the businesses, especially small businesses in Baton Rouge, you know, we talk about bringing in new stuff, which we absolutely need to, especially in North Baton Rouge, in the 70805 in that area. But also there are struggling businesses out there that need help. You know, I mean, I see places up and down Winburn in Plank Road. I mean, they open. Some even put up a sign, and the doors never get unlocked. You know, so there's such a need there. But you know, on the side of town I'm working on, you know, the median salary is $21,000 a year.
Yeah, it's tough.
So there's so many tentacles to it, you know, job training, opportunity, and all that. And I just feel that part of our parish is forgotten.
Yeah, Sid,
I know it's forgotten.
Sid, real quick, I got 30 seconds. What do you want to tell the voters real quick? 30 seconds.
You know, this is it. It's game day, and all I'm saying is I am the guy. I'm more convinced than ever. I can't say I'm convinced. I'm saying I'm going to get in a run, but I'm convinced a regular Joe, a normal human being that's going to be there for the people, for all the people, and no special interest. I owe nobody nothing. Take a look at me.
Yep. All right. God bless you, man. Best of luck to you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, Sid. Coach Sid Edwards. Thank you, man. Good luck. By the way, Russell Geraci, Plaquemine, Louisiana, is the winner. My hometown. God have mercy. Russell Geraci, Plaquemine, Louisiana, the winner, the Cane River Pecans. By the way, Tony Perkins coming at 11:06. Kevin Roberts, who heads up Heritage Foundation, 11:30. Of course, Tony Perkins is head of a big Christian group as well. So we got all that coming up as the program unfolds. Don't go away. If you want to catch the third hour, moongriffon.com. Listen live. We're still rolling.
Our state is facing a budget shortfall, left over by the last governor. Jeff Landry and the legislature already cut $2 billion for spending we don't need. Now they have to deal with this shortfall, but they've got a plan to deal with that and move Louisiana forward. This is what Governor Landry said.
This Louisiana Forward Plan, when fully implemented by the legislature and ratified by the people of this state, will produce more jobs, a greater prosperity, lower our taxes, and bring us a sustainable budget.
This plan cuts taxes for the middle class and all taxpayers, with the income tax rate dropped to just 3%. Job creators can grow the economy with lower taxes. Families and senior citizens, no more prescription drug sales tax. A different tax system which focuses on choices, not labor. And the Louisiana voters, we get the final say. Fixing the shortfall, cutting taxes, growing our economy, now that's moving Louisiana forward. Paid for by Protect Louisiana Values.
The Moon Griffon merchandise store is now open. Go to moongriffon.com right now and click on merchandise. There you'll find men's tees, ladies' tees, polos, fishing shirts, lounge pants, hats, and more. Through November 15th, a portion of the proceeds will benefit the Cajun Navy hurricane relief efforts. Show your love for the Moon Griffon Show by purchasing some Moon Griffon merch. Go to moongriffon.com right now and click on merchandise.
For the absolute best in local Cajun food, check out Prejean's in their 2 locations in Carencro and Broussard today.